What if more children could be raised in two-parent households? What if there were fewer unwed pregnancies? What if the divorce rate was significantly reduced? What if more families could live in homes free from domestic violence? What if more young people knew how to choose and how to maintain a healthy relationship? What if we could make this happen by simply educating our communities?
Operation Us provides marriage and relationship education you can use for people living in Southwest Missouri. Meeting with community leaders in counties all over Southwest Missouri, Project Director Dr. Jennifer Baker has stressed the importance of healthy marriages and relationships for our families, our communities, and our children. Over 50 organizations have heard the call and have partnered with Operation Us to provide relationship education in Springfield and the surrounding area. Our partners include schools, churches, community service organizations, and health departments, among others.
Prepared? Absolutely. It's so tempting to skip the conditioning when what I really want is the adrenaline rush. But without stretching, you can sure get hurt. Training builds stamina and gives you the endurance to bounce back from the twists and strains along the way. So yes, I prepared for my marriage. Until death do us part. Prepare for your marriage.
Well, in a healthy home, there's a legitimate source of authority. Somebody's in charge, and you know who that person is. There's a stable rule system, and there are consistent shares of nurturing behaviors. But for those who choose marriage for themselves, having a healthy marriage has profound benefits. In fact, one researcher has said, I believe from Harvard, that your marital satisfaction at age 50 is a better predictor of you being alive at age 80 than your cholesterol rate. And so they found that cohabiting couples spent money on things like luxury items, technology, vacations, trips, but couples with a ring and a date, you know what they spent money on? Washers, dryers, life insurance. Truly, if he buys you a Maytag, he loves you. It's a long-term commitment.
Operation Us offers marriage and relationship education through workshops for teens and singles, married, dating or engaged couples, expectant parents, step-family couples, and couples facing extra stress. Operation Us workshops are set in a casual atmosphere and are not therapy. Some workshops are scheduled on a rolling calendar so that participants that need to miss a week of class can come back during another series to catch what they missed.
Really the biggest thing is communication, kind of how to say what you feel, what you need to say. Don't hold it in, you know, but also don't just let it out like a shotgun, you know.
We want to be married forever. So we thought anything to improve on that and make our marriage stronger is something we should pursue. We tell them it's fun, that Jennifer Baker does a great job. Paul, her husband, is hilarious. He makes us laugh every week. Just that it's really helped us communicate better. It's helped us, you know, be more on the same page. Even with our kids, it's made a difference. So I tell them just to come out and try it, and they'll like what they see.
Quite honestly, I didn't decide. My wife drugged me here, and beyond my wildest dreams, it's been substantially better than I thought it would be. We've learned quite a bit. Our relationship was good prior. She just wanted to try to help our communication skills. I thought it was a waste of time, and it's actually turned out to be quite enjoyable.
It's not what you think. I mean, it's really a big surprise, you know. It's just, it's kind of a fun time together. It's not really a come and spill your guts type thing. It's, you know, a lecture. It's a lot of interaction and, you know, getting to learn new things. And we even play games.
Communication. I mean, ultimately it goes back to communication and knowing when to step back from a situation when it's things get heated. Everybody does it. And that's one of the things, a little apprehension at first about, we've got to go in and admit that we fight. But it's any conversation that we've had, you know, small things can escalate, and we're learning how to not do that.
How to calm down and talk to each other, how to tell what you feel rather than blaming the other person, and how to make sure we have fun and take time for each other. It's just a relaxed environment where you don't have to talk about anything you don't want to. You learn information. They show you how to use the information they give you. They don't just give you the information and tell you this is what you should do. We've benefited from Hitched and Happy because we can now talk to each other. We make time to go out and do things with just the two of us and, you know, leave the 6 kids somewhere else. We get along a lot better and make time for each other.
Prepared? You bet. We wouldn't think of heading out on our adventure without the right gear and supplies. We have to be able to endure some heat and get through a few unexpected storms, but we work through those together. We may have some steep hills to climb, but we know we're ready. Of course we prepared for our marriage. Until death do us part.
Operation Us workshops can be held in a variety of locations, like business conference rooms, churches, schools, restaurants, or community centers. Operation Us partners are trained and assisted by our training mentors, and materials are provided at little or no expense to our partner organizations.
What we're doing today and what we're trying to do through Operation Us is all about children. 40% of children today, 40%, are born to unmarried parents. 40%, which puts them at considerable risk. From the studies that we've seen and the research that's been done, children are very aware of conflict in their parents' marriage. In fact, one study with infants as young as 3 months of age noticed a rise in the cortisol level, which is the stress hormone, in children whose parents were arguing. So even infants are affected by their parents' conflict.
You know, we talked on a few occasions, you know, they tell you you work really hard at understanding what to do before the baby's born or getting ready for the baby to be born, but how do you take care of everybody after the baby is born?
And we did learn skills that, and maybe we were already using some of the skills because at this point in our lives, you know, we're a little bit older, so we've been in situations where we've learned how to communicate, but it reminded us of things that we were doing right and things that we could improve upon. So it was good to, and what was nice is other couples in similar situations and how they dealt with it. And then it makes you feel like you're, you know, everybody, we're all working on our relationships. Nobody has a perfect relationship. So it was a good class, definitely. And expect to be tired and to snap at each other, and expect to have some days where things aren't maybe the way you'd like them, but if you expect it, and then you can go back and say, okay, and use the skills, but communication, I would say, is number one.
And for the husband, it's important to remember that it's not all about you, and this is a particular phase. Mom's hormone levels are trying to adjust. Mom's going through a lot physically, emotionally, and try to keep it into perspective. Focus on what she needs. Help her, help her, help her.
I think that when you have a baby, you're sleeping a lot less. And so having some communication skills and techniques with each other that you can use to avoid flying off into emotional rants, which can happen when you're short on rest, is something that just comes in handy.
I think there are some skills that they go over during that, I think, that are helpful. And then also just some tools to plan discussions, so if there is something that we continue to deal with, to just kind of sit down and plan out. I think that just being intentional about it can help you really identify what the problem is so that you can solve it. So I think those communication techniques are good to have.
I think that the most valuable thing that a child can see, if you want to be a good parent, you have to be a good marriage partner. That's what you're modeling for your baby. And so, as they're babies or as they grow up and become older and develop into the adults that one day they'll become, the biggest model that they'll have is the relationship that we have with each other. And so, it's important for us. It's critically important for us, but it's at least as important for them too, that we nurture and care for and guard that relationship with each other.
A couple of times it's just become different stuff for us. I mean, just even an hour before we go to bed to have together with quiet time, if they just happen to go to bed early, then that's just amazing. It feels wonderful to have a cup of tea or, just sit in the living room together.
Just relax. That's also quite funny. Sometimes, he'll be quiet and we'll just look at each other and be like, hi. How you doing? Yeah. So it's a challenge, but I think it's fun.
Prepared? I'd better be. After all, paying attention to details is what makes the difference. The more preparation and planning time I invest, the more successful and enjoyable the outcome. For everyone. I know everything can't be perfect. I don't expect it to be, but the time and effort I spent pays off when the unexpected happens. So yes, I prepared for my marriage until death do us part. Prepare for your marriage.
At Operation Us, we think it's important for couples to acquire the skills needed to improve and sustain healthy relationships. However, we feel it is just as important to arm singles with the knowledge they need to make the right decisions when dating or when choosing a future spouse.
One of the greatest skills I think I've learned has been how to communicate, become a better communicator. And in learning how to communicate, that's also helped me in a lot of other facets of my life too. So that's opened up a lot of different doors for me, and being able to communicate with her on a lot of different levels.
Well, if a friend asked me to take this workshop, I would definitely encourage him or her to do the workshop because it's very informative, and I got to meet other people as well, whether they were single or had a significant other. And it's just great in general to know where you are in your relationship, if you have one, and if you're not in a relationship at the moment, what to look for.
I just think it's a good thing for anybody that's going to date or get married that you need a structure, because there are so many divorces these days and you just need a good foundation.
We know healthy marriages and healthy relationships matter in Southwest Missouri. They matter to adults, to children, and to the communities where we live. Southwest Missouri needs our help.
To find out more about Operation Us activities in your area, go to operationus.org or call 417-823-3469.